Here's this week's Blending the Family Parenting Tip Tuesday from your host, Tommy Maloney. What's it this week? What's the little tip you're going to give us, Tommy?
Welcome to Parenting Tip Tuesday. I am your host, Tommy Maloney. Thanks for coming by. If this is your first time listening to Parenting Tip Tuesday, it's a microcosm version of the regular podcast. I am your host, Tommy Maloney. Just throw that out. Parenting Tip Tuesdays, I just get down to the nitty-gritty, and just part of these parenting tips, again, if this is your first time listening, just come from real life. It just out of the blue sometimes, or something I observe, or something that somebody else had brought up to me. So this is a little bit of a combination of what somebody brought up to me, an observation, and here we are, you and I, mano y mano. All right, I was having a conversation a while back with my wife Ann, and she was asking, now, if you are a long-time listener, thank you. And you might remember my wife Ann was the co-host of the original podcast. And we were talking recently about the podcast and the writing and some other things. And she was asking what was the latest parenting tip that I put out there. And we were talking about it. And one of the things she mentioned was that there are a lot of so-called experts in the world of blended family and divorce and how to co-parent, things like that. And one of the things that was driving her nuts, ironically, I'm gonna pause right there with what my wife was talking about. Ironically, I was looking at my son's hockey team parenting roster, and a lot of families that possibly, now it could be that some of the ladies, such as my wife, didn't take my last name when we got married, so possibly some of these ladies didn't take their husband's last name. But from my observation, it looks like there's a combination of blended families and divorce. And so this is where my wife was talking about how, you know, a lot of again, so-called experts. And let me just go on my high horse, my soapbox. I'm going to take the high horse and put it on soapbox. That's a balancing act right there. And that is, a lot of these gurus when it comes to divorce and single families and blended families have never been divorced, have no blended families. So that's where I get a little perturbed that people give advice that haven't walked in our shoes. Okay, off the soapbox, off the high horse, nice horse, here's a carrot. But when it comes to, for example, sporting events, youth sporting events, I notice, because I'm one of those people, I don't sit by my former spouse at all. I don't sit with her. I don't sit with her or her husband. Maybe sit near her, depending on the either the ice rink or our son Connor plays baseball as well, so maybe. But here's the flip side. My Ann, my wife Ann. Man, I don't know if it's too much coffee, not enough coffee, but anyway, my wife has really, in the years we've been married, let's see, 7 years? Yeah, 7 years. I don't do math very well. But she has really taken so many different growth steps when it came to her relationship with her former husband. And, for example, my bonus daughter, my wife's daughter, Becca, during basketball season, and basketball and volleyball, we sit almost right behind not only my wife's former spouse, his wife, but actually right by his parents. And Becca understands. She gets it. Just, we're in proximity. That's about it. So here's the thing. I want to stress to a lot of you divorced families. And that is, here's my parenting tip for today is you don't have to sit by your former. You really don't. If you're not comfortable sitting there, then don't. Your kids are well adjusted. Believe me, they're smarter than you think they are. I'm amazed that I'm able to tie my shoes when I look at my son Connor, who's just an amazing young man. Amazing. And again, Becca, same thing. That they have really taken upon themselves to understand the situation of divorce, and that it's not always going to be, unicorns pooping Skittles. Okay. So my point here is you don't have to sit by your former. Okay. But be present. Be present. And even if it isn't your biological child, be there to support them. Oh my gosh. At the time of this recording, Becca's basketball team has one more home game, and I am beside myself because I'm going to miss that. I try to make all the kids' sporting events, extracurricular events, but unfortunately, with the dreaded day job that I have, where I'm on the road 100% of the time, it's not always that case. And so I am very upset that I'm going to miss her final basketball game. She's a senior. I'm going to miss senior night. Oh my gosh, I'm going to start crying. Hold on here. So, okay, there we go. Not editing that out. So again, the point is, you don't have to sit by them, but be present. And don't be one of those ugly parents. This past weekend, oh my gosh, it wasn't just dads, it was moms. I watched two moms almost duke it out at a kids hockey game. I think the kids were 12. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Really? Anyway, so there you go. There's Parenting Tip Tuesday for you today. You don't have to sit by your former spouse. Be there for your kids. Support your kids. Again, even if they're your bonus kids, be there and support them. Okay? That's it. That's all I got. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And enjoy life. Enjoy your kids. Enjoy your family. You just never know when it possibly will end. So, for example, Becca is ending her high school career, and it just blew by so fast. And so that cliche is so true. They grow up fast. They really do. There you go. That's it. I want to say thank you for listening to this. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for caring. If you need any help, you can always email me at tommy@blendingthefamily.com. That's tommy@blendingthefamily.com. I told you, we get short to the point. Plus, I have to finish up laundry, vacuuming, and finishing up one more article. It's a busy Tuesday. So there you go. As Terry Crews would say, your success is my success.
Wait. Please leave a rating and review. However you get this podcast, whether it's through the mail or from your neighbor or listening in under the couch. I don't know. You tell me.